Hello, my name is Kenda Bell, and I'm also known as the Joy Factor Mama, and I love reading the stars and creating the perfect cosmic alchemy for my healing and my growth. And I love sharing it with others. So this week, I'm going to share a little bit of the cosmic alchemy that is happening this week, meaning it's not just about the planets and where they are, but it's also at looking at the transformation opportunities that are available at this once in a lifetime experience. There are so many planets, alignments that many of us living have never seen. The vast majority of people that are living on this planet have never experienced the configurations of the planets. Now, of course, there are certain alignments that have occurred, but it's really at the same time. The sequences of things are unique, and this is our opportunity to really do some transformation work of any kind. And I just want to share the cosmic alchemy for this week. So for August the 18th through the 24th, let's talk about it. The theme for this week is refinement, courage, and healing. And for this week, we are understanding that discipline is devotion. Imagination is wealth, and healing is courage. And we have the perfect alignments to really hone in on this work. And in the Sacred Joy Garden, our theme this month is faith. And faith takes a lot of strength, right? So as we look at, let me move myself. We have this week the most important energy. Well, one of them is the Virgo New Moon that is happening on August the 23rd. And it's forming what people call a Yod. Some people call it the finger of God, but it's basically a configuration that gives us like a fated opportunity. It's like there's a certain energetic wave that will be coming at you where it's fated for you to make a choice, whatever. But of course, that can happen any day. We're always making choices that impact the next day and the future and our timelines. But this particular configuration may be in a certain area. And if you hang around, I'm going to tell you by each sign what areas this Yod may affect you and how you can really utilize this Virgo New Moon, because Mercury is now direct in a Leo. So most of us should be really settling in on who we identify ourselves to be in terms of our voice, our energy, our occupation. And even if you have not made a major transformation, like you quit your job or you did this amazing thing, you already did the amazing thing. And that is to make a decision. And when we have Virgo, which is a very practical sign, Virgo energy is having things in order. What aligns perfectly to get the job done? And when it touches Pluto in Aquarius, along with Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries, it kind of squeezes us into something that may be uncomfortable, but it leads to something greater and is on path. And again, by the rising sign, I can give you a little clue, perhaps, if you will. And it also will help you possibly with your new moon intentions for those of you that set your intentions on the new moon, and as well as I'll give information for people that can also apply that to any things that they may be clearing away or letting go of for their impending harvest. Okay, But before we go there, I really want to talk about the major work that all of us are going under. And this energy with Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron, being retrograde in Aries, all at the same time, is helping us to activate our superpowers. Superpowers for you could be levitating. For others, it could be creating peace in your home. And depending upon your chart, there is a certain house that all of these planets are in that is really helping you to figure out new ways to be disciplined. This is in Aries. This is the initiator sign, right? This is the first sign, and it's fire, and it's going backwards. So it's putting you back into considering, what do you consider discipline for your success? What does it look like? Is it maybe the way that you have been trying to force yourself to do it and it has not worked? Maybe you need to let that go. Ooh, my earrings are clinging. I just realized that. So maybe you have to let that particular form of discipline go. Discipline becomes devotion, not hard work. You enjoy what you do to create routine, to create profitable or healthy habits. You may not be the person that needs to go to the gym all the time. You may have to do yoga. Who knows? What does discipline look like for real so you can get it done? Neptune is also retrograde in Aries. So this is where your higher ideals about things, may it be spirituality, relationship, finance, what's real for real, like your whatever that big idea is, it's possible if you add in the work that Saturn is doing. So you're putting Saturn retrograde along with Neptune retrograde, and they're working together to help you create new habits, new ways of doing things so that you can achieve or rise to the next level of whatever your higher ideals are. Maybe the way that you've been doing things is no longer working. So you're looking back at what you have learned and acquired in both the ideas of what some discipline is and what a higher ideal or spirituality is. You're going back and you are reclaiming these certain aspects that made you feel a certain way. And higher ideals does not necessarily mean social. This could also be in terms of family, writing, literature, education, things like that. So it varies. And again, if you hang out, I'm doing the signs, so you'll get an idea of where this will be. And so if you have the faith, because that's the theme in the Sacred Joy God, if you have the faith this month to discipline yourself in an innovative way, what you may aspire to may not be as delusional as you may think. It's all real. And in the process, Chiron, the wounded healer, is also in Aries, right in the mix, helping us heal our wounds with wisdom, because that's the wisdom. Do you see? That's cosmic alchemy. Saturn and Neptune gives us the medicine to heal that wound that we've been carrying. They're all conspiring in whatever area that this affects is going to really be the lightning bolt for you, for all of us. It's like it's about faith and structure and courage are going to align. And this new moon in Virgo gives the energy of really tightening up this work. But this work is going to be with us until 2026. But this is good work to get into energetically, because we're about to go into eclipse season. Okay? Now how that is going to work for you, I ran my reports based on the rising sign. Customarily, this is the primary lens, if you will. It's based on, where you were born. So if you know your rising sign, your like ascendant, it's going to help you to really see where it's hitting your houses. But that does not mean that you should not listen to your sun or your moon, because a lot of us identify with our sun sign. So you can still listen to your sun sign, because that's kind of how we identify ourselves, whereas the rising sign is how we appear, how we show up in the world, but the sun is more of how we kind of identify. Okay. And the moon sign, you can also, a lot of people that I work with like to use their sun signs, their moon signs, to help with their emotional balancing as well, if they're being challenged with emotional things. And it also helps to heal any ancestral memories or patterns that we have unintentionally brought with us. So again, rising, but you can reference your sun and your moon. Okay, so let's go. So Aries rising, the worthy flame. So this is affecting your 6th house of health, habits, and daily work and service. So this week, a health, work, and balance may trigger you to understand that you've got to put some chill in what you do, not breaking yourself down. This is for Aries rising, sun, or moon. Now, Chiron is hitting your 1st house of identity and body as well. This is based on rising. So a good way for you to work with this energy of the new moon in Virgo is getting the courage to set boundaries and discipline to honor your body, and having faith to trust that your presence is enough. In other words, you don't have to keep working so hard and breaking your own threshold to show that you're doing great work. It's you breathing the same air is a blessing. Find that balance. So what you can do is do a sacred joy alchemy for the next 21 days. Just create one morning ritual. It doesn't have to be long, but one thing, so that you can start considering yourself more if you're not already doing that. If you're already doing it, then add a new aspect to something that you're already doing in the morning. If you're already journaling, maybe add a certain aspect, like you may, as you're writing, do like a voice note, or you're going to stretch afterwards, but add something extra to that and see how that works. Okay, but be balanced. Okay, Taurus rising, the artist mirror. So this new moon is in your 5th house of creativity, romance, joy, and children. So you may be tested in pleasure patterns. Is it for the applause or authentic joy? Now, the punchline that's happening is in your 12th house of spirituality and hidden things. So what can support you in this energy going into the new moon is really letting go of your fears of being isolated, and just having faith and just being creative and allowing yourself to not feel that you're going to be forgotten. I don't know who this for. Like, you're not going to be forgotten. Your presence is enough, and that's for all of us. Me included, trust me. But like, work for the pleasure of doing it. Just be yourself. That's all I can say. And, create something. This sacred joy alchemy is just create something for your spirit. A song, write like a little song, like a little poem, a little sketch, or dance, and place it on your altar as like a joy offering. And when I say place it on the altar, if you're going to dance in front of your sacred space. Dance in front of your sacred space. Do a little samba, baby. Dance. Give the energy. A lot of times we get caught up in the quote unquote offerings of crystals or objects or different things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just offering something extra for us to be a part of the energy and do things that are nuanced, that don't challenge or disturb anything that you're already doing, for us to just add a little bit more of alignment in our daily lives, make it just a part of our lives. So do that. Just create something. Let yourself be free. There might even be like something that is practical that you have a thought or an idea about. That is creative. Think about it, Taurus rising. So Gemini rising, home as altar. So the new moon is affecting your 4th house of home, ancestry, roots, and emotional foundation. Okay, family patterns, they may surface. Community, your 11th house, may be the little trigger space for this. So what can support you during this time is heal your belonging wounds. Your friendships, you're wiser now. You can tell who's a friend and who's not a friend. And even if not, you survive. You'll be fine. Have your discipline in friendships, meaning that you be disciplined in how you view yourself and what you're putting out and what you're thinking and what you're feeling. For you, community is going to continue to be healing because it's helping to break family patterns of lack of community. Take your time, but may it be forward, move it, not backwards. And the sacred joy alchemy is some rosemary water. Just make some rosemary water and put it in your sacred space under the moonlight for the new moon and say, I clear the past, I plant new roots. So that family healing these family wounds may begin to start to really move forward in healing. And you're going to find that healing in community. And it may not be the community that you thought it would come from. Okay, Gemini rising? Okay, Leo rising. Body is the bank. Okay, now. New moon in the 2nd house. Money, body, values, possessions. So the cosmic adjustment is going to be all around self-worth, money. Respect your value. Respect your value, Leo rising. And you're going to, and the trigger point where you may get the challenge may be around your faith. And so what's going to help you to maximize this opportunity for the best for this new moon, because it's all going to converge around that time, is healing your beliefs, wounds, and really discipline in study, imagination, like envision, encourage to live your philosophy. Live your philosophy. So it's like, and this hits me home because as a, I hate using the term coach because I think coach is so overdone, but as a sacred joy strategist, as a cultural sociologist, as a author, as so many different things, for me as a Leo rising, I have to reclaim those things. And I'm going to share in another video how I went back 30 years and I restitched a timeline loop that was hanging out there. But we'll talk about that later. But for all my Leo risings, it's time to be everything that you know you are. You're safe, you're sound. You got this. You got to have the faith, and so for you, the sacred joy alchemy is just create a little honey jar with some rosemary and your name on some paper and just light a gold candle and say, I affirm I charge in divine alignment. I charge in divine alignment. So your prices are not too high. Your value is not low. It's time. It's time. And there is a wound dealing with your faith that really has taken your quote unquote idea of worth. And it's not that you're cheap, but anyone that this is resonating with, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I know I do. And I had to go and reclaim that. And like I said, this is all up in my business. And so, and I'm going to share that, like I said, in another video, because this, like I said, the Saturn, Neptune, and the Wounded Healer all retrograde in Aries right now with Pluto, Uranus, all of these fire and air signs, which are about activity, motion, movement. Water and earth is more slower and steady. Now it's like, psh, psh, psh. Let's get it popping for all of us. It's time. So, because I'm going to definitely do this. I'm going to create me a honey jar. And again, it doesn't have to be one of the big jars. You can get you a small jar, like maybe you had some capers in, or a little jar. Just put some premium honey in there and some rosemary and your name. And you can write, I charge in divine alignment, or whatever you want. You know how it applies to you. Virgo rising, the rebirth of self. So this new moon is in your first house of self, identity, and body image. You are rebirthing, and you may have some challenges with this. You might have an intimate encounter that's going to assist you with healing your intimacy wounds, and it's also going to get you some discipline in your money and imagination and trust and courage and shadow work. So this is like your Saturn's about your money, discipline about your money. Understand what trust now means for you, Virgo rising. And the Wounded Healer is your shadow work. It's those intimate parts of you. So this Saturday for the new moon, wear white, rosemary oil, and declare and decree, I reveal the healed me. I reveal the healed me. That is you. I don't know who I rang the bell for, but I just rang the bell for somebody. I need to hear that. And you can still take your time and be careful as you walk, but keep walking. And trust your own medicine. Trust your own medicine. Virgo, trust your own medicine. Libra rising, the ancestral whisper. So the new moon is in your 12th house of dreams, solitude, the ancestors. And your cosmic alignment opportunity is going to be hidden truths or dreams that may be a little too close to home, perhaps. And it's going to deal, and it may pop up in your 7th house of partnerships. But the way that you can take this opportunity to grow is to really get into some spiritual clarity, to help support any partnership wounds that you may still carry or have. You're going to have to really redefine what your boundaries are. Like, what are boundaries? Are they the same as they used to be? And this doesn't always mean that your boundaries have to be stricter. Maybe they need to be more relaxed. Only you can decide that. In love, what is your understanding of love? What is your new understanding about what love truly is? Not what you read, not even what you experienced or what you thought you were like experienced. Taking all of those things, what do you now imagine as the highest form of love for you, towards you, for you to feel or to experience? What is that? And the Wounded Healer is dealing with fears of abandonment, because they are fears. That's not necessarily true. So your sacred joy alchemy for this new moon is to light a candle in the morning. I think the new moon is going to be happening. I can't remember exactly when, but I think it happens very, very early. So if you want, this is saying to light a candle at dawn, offer wood to the ancestors, and record dreams this week. I would rather you to light a candle before bed. Maybe if you can, this is Virgo Moon. So maybe light the candle no later than midnight. But I would say maybe about 9 would be good to light it. And offer some water, just a simple glass of water. If you don't have a sacred space, just if you have a nightstand or a table with a plant or something in it, a nice clear glass of water and a candle, and record your dreams and the next morning and for the rest of the week, and you'll probably get a lot of the answers and things that you feel that you need, but there'll probably be more of confirmation and consolation. So be open to it as a blessing, not fear. Okay. Scorpio rising. For you, this is about the true community. So the new moon is hitting your 11th house of community, friendships, and networks. And so for you, the cosmic alchemy adjustment is going to be where maybe one alliance may end, and as soon as that does end, another one is going to come right in, and it may show up in the area of the 6th house, so of like health and wellness. So overworking or feeling like you have to overwork or do too much to prove your worth. You're going to be healing to serve from wholeness, not until you can't do it anymore. For you, it's going to be about habits. Like, what are the habits that you know that you need to do, but not in the way that you keep not doing that well at? Stop beating yourself up for not being disciplined and create new ways to be disciplined. We got all these different things that can help us to structure and create new ways to get things done. They got patches, they got different types of diets, different types of ways to exercise. Come on. The old way, if you haven't this, find a new way, so that way you can start really imagining and seeing your wellness, where you don't think it's delusional, because it's true, because you have created a new discipline that fits and works. And the courage to shift your work patterns. It's not about hard work, working hard. It's working sensibly, working smart, making the best use of your energy and your genius. That's important. So your sacred alchemy for this new moon is write your vision of what community is for you, and burn it, and scatter those ashes into some running water. Just do it. Okay. Sagittarius rising, crown of responsibility. So this new moon in Virgo is affecting your 10th house of career, your public life, and your legacy. And so your cosmic adjustment may happen around your career redirection. The path that you think you're going to take may divert. And before you stop being, oh God, does that mean it can divert any way that you choose it to divert? It doesn't have to be bad. And it may come to pass through your 5th house of joy and romance. Okay. So, a partnership, or you might be on a date, and you might be on a date and you go somewhere and you meet the perfect client, or you make the perfect contact. You may decide to move to where your partner lives in like another state, where your job may change, things like that. Okay. You may figure out that your joy, your art, is where it really is. And you could, and your image that fits your image. whatever your art is, whatever that thing is, it's like, I can do this. So for you to really heal this and work on this for this new moon is healing your creative wounds. And that's going to support the legacy that you want. You can, what you make and what you create is valuable and worthy. So you have to create some discipline in playing. Play more. Make it playful. Imagine what romance is. What is romance really for you? What is it? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Encourage in your artistry. You are powerful. You are creative. You are awesome. It's your time if you say so. Because the universe, God, the ancestors, whomever you choose, agrees. So your sacred joy alchemy is place your career intention under a green candle and say, my legacy aligns with joy, and just let it burn. And know, simple. Capricorn rising, the philosopher's gate. New moon in the 9th house is where it's going to affect you. And this is about your faith, your philosophies, teaching and publishing and travel. So your cosmic adjustment may happen with your beliefs and teachings. Like, what do you really stand for now? What are your beliefs? And it may jump off in your 4th house of family. So part of this for you to really work this new moon is heal those ancestral wounds around your teaching. Your discipline is home. Discipline at home. What are you doing at home? How are you enjoying your home? You need to start really looking at your lineage, not just the flaws, but the great things. Not just the great things, but also look at the gray areas and appreciate how they made the awesomeness that is you, and have courage in your ancestry. You may be feeling like the way that you move through life, the things that you do. You watch astrology, you burn candles, you believe in crystals, you believe in shadow work. A lot of things, like myself, I was raised Christian, and I still have great love and value for Jesus, the Bible, and all those other things. But I'm not going to separate myself from other aspects of God that I can learn and I can appreciate, especially those that connect me to my ancestors, all of them, because I'm here from the prayers of all of my ancestors, all of them, including most definitely the ones here in this soil, but those that prayed for my soul before I was even a thought in their native tongues, in their ways of worship. So I will no longer disregard that, because that was part of why I'm here and we're here. But anyway, so yes, your sacred joy alchemy, I don't know where that came from because they wanted that to be said. Your sacred joy alchemy for this new moon is read your own words or teachings aloud under moonlight. So this is going to be really good for anyone that is a writer or is a student and you're writing your notes. Read your notes. Read something that your teachings. And if you don't have any of those things yet, read something that you feel really aligned with on the new moon. Really feels like aligned with for yourself, and heal that. Aquarius rising, alchemy of the underworld. So the new moon is in your 8th house of intimacy, shared money, debts, and shadow. So the cosmic adjustment may be in your areas of your money or intimacy issues, and it may crop up from siblings or contracts or communication. So how you can work with this energy for this new moon, healing dialogue wounds will support intimacy. So we know that how you talk to someone really can change how attracted they are to you. So how are we speaking to others? And and how are they speaking to us? So we have to be honest with that so we can start really enjoying life. And so we may have a challenge with that for my Aquarius risings. And so you're going to need some discipline in agreements. What do you agree with? Not what you thought a relationship should be or a partnership should be or whatever these agreements are of any kind, whatever they are. What is your understanding for that now? Because you want to start being able to trust words, trust in what people say, trust in what you say as being truthful and in integrity, and trusting what you sign and you agree to, and the courage in telling the truth. That your wounded healer needs to trust that they can tell the truth without being persecuted. Take your steps with this, because Pluto is in your sign, and Uranus, the planet that rules you, is in Gemini. So your time is here. Pace yourself. You'll be fine. Pace yourself. Pace your words. Don't stop them. Don't water them down. Just pace them and wrap them with love and fire. So your sacred joy alchemy is place obsidian by a black candle and chant, I release control. I reclaim power. And so when you release the need to control, you get your power back. Isn't that amazing? People try to control so they can feel powerful, but usually the more that people try to control something, the more tense they feel, the more angst they feel, and they realize that they don't have any power because their sense of power is connected by the things and the people that they control. Once you release that, you can reclaim true power. So enjoy this new moon and understand that and know. Pisces rising, the mirror of relationships and partnerships. So the new moon is hitting your 7th house of marriage, partnerships, and contracts. So this is basically what's going to be a little, your cosmic adjustment is going to be like around agreements with relationships and contracts, like again, and it's going to probably show up in your 2nd house of money. So you're going to be healing your worth, and that is elevating your partnership choices. So basically, if you had any wounds about your money and past partnerships, or like not having enough money to get a partner or to keep a partner, or you feeling like someone has to have a certain like amount of money to make you feel a certain way, and those choices may have hurt you or hindered you in some type of way, or you may feel they have. This is your chance to heal that in understanding that you are worthy of the best of what you choose to desire, and that you will call in that which supports that. And how you're going to do that? By having discipline in your money, Saturn, and really getting into what self-love is, not delusion of what self-love, but what does self-love mean to you? Not based on textbooks, not based on what you've read, and not just what you feel, but what does self-love for you feel and look like with you taking care of your body, your clothes, or certain things, courage in self-value and creating reciprocity. And this is not just for your one-on-one type of partnerships. This can be your partnerships at work. This could be partnerships with co-parenting or siblings or people like that. So your sacred joy alchemy is light 2 candles with a mirror in between them, and affirm, I attract partnerships that reflect my healed self. And believe it and know it, Pisces. Believe it and know it. Okay? So the final word, the collective closing message is this. This week is not a thunderclap. It's not going to be, well, it could, for some people, it could be a little bit of a thunderclap. It could be. But it's really a timeline restitching, if you will, if you know what you're doing. Because this Virgo new moon is saying refine and simplify and clarify. That's why I was saying when I talked about, the discipline, the imagination, the courage. It's really just doing what you've been bullheaded to not do. You know, that thing that you're determined you're going to do, but you just can't seem to complete it. Do it another way. And you're determined that you're going to do that thing. If you're determined to do that thing and you still haven't completed it, try another way to do it at the very least. Okay? Because this cosmic adjustment, the Yod, is pressing our tender spots. But if you listen to what I shared for each sign, you kind of can be prepared, like a little bit, at least a little bit. But more importantly, come get a cosmic alchemy report. So I do monthly cosmic alchemy reports, not just for my clients, but for myself. And I don't just look at like your birth chart and talk about the new moon and all that stuff. I really get into what the planets are doing each month, you know, and how you can maximize it by doing practical alchemy tools. They could be journaling, writing, doing like a task, and more other things like rituals, creating new patterns, basically. And I'm enjoying it. The women that I have been working with are really enjoying it. And if you would like to get like a 60-day cosmic mapping, I'm offering them for $44. And it's going to give you the energy based on your birth chart well into eclipse season. And I advise anyone to get a September report. Now, the cosmic mapping and the cosmic alchemy monthly report also come with an audio copy. So you will get a print out report as well as an audio version, so you can listen to the report at your leisure. So you can email me at joyfactormama@gmail.com, or DM me anywhere that you are seeing this, or leave me a comment, and I will inbox you a link to these slides. Tell me, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, let's do this. In the comments, if you're watching this on social media, comment your rising or your sun sign, and I will inbox you. I will give you a copy of the slide that corresponds with your sign. Okay, but ride with me. And if you're not following me, subscribe, because I'm going to be building more content, and this was fun. Enjoy this week, because we need to get ready for eclipse season. So make sure that you get with me and get those reports. Okay, have a great one. Bye.